First of all, I just want to start off by saying thank you, God. The few hours have been kind of weird and kind of funny and agitating and frustrating at the same time. It's just really stupid. It's amazing that there's people who don't mind put so much effort in just being idiots for the purpose of gaslighting target visual. I'm a TI, and they're putting so much effort to try to make me acceptive of this memory that I made a video about it, but it's still private because I realized that I need to make some changes in this video. But they were manipulating my memories and changing the version of memories as I was making the video. So as I'm listening to the video about it, I can hear how it's changing and transitioning to a different version of memory. In real time, it's insane. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is where it started. And then now it's this, and they keep going around and changing it. It's like they gave me like 4 versions of a memory that they falsified with the same theme. Where they, as always, want me to imagine somebody that I was intimate or, we tried to be intimate, being underage. Same old story, same old theme. Try to make that happen in my mind, make me imagine that. And same old stories. And so there's 4 versions. They were making me imagine, and then you'll see the actual video in real time, like as I'm describing the first version of the creation, and then it morphed into a second version, and then a third version, and then like a finalized version, and it was like a final one that is kind of worked on. It was insane. Giving different scenarios of different memories, of same memories with different scenarios, with the same theme. And these preps will do the same nose campaign. And it's just gonna show the level of alteration and memory manipulation. They all can go in the way they want it. Right now, I think they settle for one, but they can change it to something else. It's weird. And I feel like at some point I was feeling pain right here. I don't know if when they implant these memories, what it does to the brain, if it damaged the brain, but it really, it's crazy. And when they try to make me believe a new scenario, especially the harder it is to believe it, the more painful it is. I'm sore here. I didn't bang my brain. I didn't bang anywhere. I didn't hit my head anywhere. I feel it right here. And it's insane. Now these clowns around you are supposed to gaslight me. And let me just break it down what they're trying to do. They were creating. They were trying to bring up a memory and add this additional aspect of this memory. And, I'm going to be graphic and explicit, but if you probably notice a theme here where they're trying to like change memories of me being with somebody intimately that is not an adult. So that's the kind of memories they look for and change in their version. In this case is I'm with this, black girl in her 20s or so, and then my mid 20s, and it's very casual. So, and I mean very casual, you can read in between the lines what I mean. I don't want to be too explicit here, and I gotta be careful what I'm saying. But we were being very casual, and it was, let's just say that it was for benefit. And as we were trying to be intimate, it was hard for me to be intimate because she was kind of she had too much of a excuse my language, she was a little too she had like a ghetto attitude that just like, and it's like, oh come on, it's like, I was like, I can't do that, I can't perform under the circumstances, and ended up not being able to be fully intimate. And I'm sorry for speaking in these terms, but I want to just give you the idea of what's happening in my mind and how they change my memories. So I sit there next to her, I guess not able to perform, and she looks at me, and also she's like, oh, I can be your girlfriend. Now the first memory that they try to alter, the first version of this memory, the first alteration of the memory, I should say, is they tried to make me feel, and the video I made, it was in real time as they're doing this manipulation, me describing what they're doing to me. Now at this point, now they already settled and it's already like implanted the way they wanted. But as they were creating that, implanting that in my brain, I was making this video. But the first version was, you know, she reminds you of people that you went to high school with, because I used to go to a high school that's a little bit like on the, you know, excuse my language, a little bit ghetto, you know. And so there's some black girls who had a little bit of attitude, the ghetto aspect of them, that they were kind of like the same, and then, you know, they were like a little bit on that. So they tried to make me think of those girls and make me think of like the same energy. It's like, oh, she does it not feel like it would be like a high schooler? It was just based on like how you feel about her. Then they started trying to work into like make me imagine her saying something about her being in high school, and they tried to implant it first when she's like, I can be your girlfriend, and like, I can be a girlfriend but I'm in high school, something like that. That's the secondary version. Actually, there's another version saying that, and this is them playing my brain. It's like, what kind of adult will say being a girlfriend? Even saying being your girlfriend means that like that's kind of like high schooly. Like that's what they try to say first. And then there's another version where she thought that I was in high school, which they took from other thing. And she was saying that, thinking that I was a high schooler. They tried to create that in my mind. Try to piece like different ways of making me accept these memories that they're altering in different versions. And then this is toward the end. There's I think this is what they're going with, but it came after. But let me say the other one. The other one that was about the third version, it was like, as I walk away because I'm not able to perform and all that, and you know, I'm walking, she's a little bit mad, she's cursing me out, and she's like, hey, by the way, I'm in high school, motherfucker. No, she didn't say like that, but I'm just trying to say like, you know, MF, you know, you're in high school and cursing me out. That was this version, but it's like they retracted. It's like, why would she just like say that out loud, yelling, right? They were trying to be like, maybe she just wanted to say something petty to just kind of put you in like creating a persona of like kind of pettiness of person that she would say that just to kind of make me be in trouble, something like that. So they were just creating this. None of that was being said. And then they retract. And the latest version that it seems like they're going with is, because this was a situation of benefit based, right? I don't want to go into details. Since I was not able to get, you know, what I was not able to perform, she still wanted to get the benefit from that. And I'm not perfect. I'm gonna say that like this. I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna stand here and, you know, especially in my 20s. And so to force me to give her the benefits, she said, oh, I'm in high school. And that's like, oh, I had to give it to him. And that's where, like, that's the real story. And creating multiple versions of memory, none of that happened. What happened is, I wasn't able to perform. She did ask, hey, I can be your girlfriend, and something like that. I think something more legit. And I was like, I'm good, and I gotta go. And you know, she was, you know, I still had to, you know, give her some benefit and walk away, but she was not happy, right? And she cursed me, but she didn't say, oh, I'm in high school. But they were creating that in my memories, and so they just want to implant that being said, to be my memory. Creating 3 different versions and still try to gaslight me. And they're like, oh, but did you give all the benefit? Like, they try to create like little mental battles, like, to, you know, little details to see like, okay, I can then implant this bullshit. One thing is for sure, is this like claim, or like them wanting me to imagine her saying that it's non-existent. They just try to find ways to implant that in my memories, and they're giving different version of that with no shame. It's like, does it not look like you just literally try to look for where you can implant this false memory? They have no shame. Like, yeah, awkward, we got you. It's like, which version again? Did we settle for the last version, version 4? Since I say 4, they try to the last version where is that the real one? Not the first one, right? And then to finalize everything else, after giving me multiple scenarios of a memory that they're altering, to even wanting me to accept this when they are creating multiple, it's insane. They're like, oh, Snapchat. Let me just say this: Snapchat is what this the pierce the resistance. The reason why they implanting memories, try to make me imagine being with somebody who's not an adult, is because they have nothing, so they have to create false memories. But the one thing that they're holding on to is, in 2014, I followed somebody who I thought was an adult because she looked like an adult. This Ocean person, and that's been the pierce the resistance. You've seen Ocean, how she looked like. That's why I would think that she was in her 20s when she was not. So to kind of seal the stupid thing they just created with different version of memory, and I say version, they try to make me imagine as versions, like a version, but different variation of memories. They start bringing up who I follow in 2014, be like, oh, that's proof that this is not a alteration of a memory. It's like, you follow O'Shane, remember? Paired it. That's a level of stupidity I'm forced to. But I think what's happening here is they want to disorient me, distract me, and let me focus on the stupidity and concentrate in this nonsensical way of rewriting memories, and not even just like once, multiple times. Because the level of validation that these people are here harming the most vulnerable children and women and suffering this program is just too bad. There's 3-year-old kids tortured. There's women suffering, being fried up. And these clowns are still trying to paint themselves as people who don't partake in that. They've been creating false memory for so long. And it's crazy looking back that I was able to keep track, and not even keep track, documenting that for a long time. And revert back to 2020, October, when I made my first video about memory manipulation. And able to express myself properly. And since then, I think I have over 100 videos of like different memory manipulation. It's a lot. They do that all the time. It's been continuously happening. They're even trying to, because they tried, the word falsified, I've used it many times, because falsified memories. They do these trickeries in my brain. It's a lot of like mind games to kind of counter and negate things. But I guess they were saying something about, when I say falsify, like alteration of memories, they have this ability to play with my brain, to create mental battles. And you're going to hear a lot of talking say that with the V2K and synthetic telepathy. There was a time where they almost like tricked me. Because one thing they can do, they can also block your memory a little bit. So your memories can a little bit be blocked. But they try to utilize things that are just like specific details. They make me think of, and I'm sorry for being graphic here, because this is all about that. With them, is just trying to rewire me. When I was with girls my age, and I was at the party with them, and we ended up going to the bathroom together. And obviously, I'm in my early 20s, and you understand this at that age, you just really just want to be, you just try to get laid. Sorry for but that's the reality. We're not fully mature, and that's what and so they were trying to bring up something specific that happened there, and it's like, I could remember if this really happened. But then they were trying to refer that to children, and I'm like, what? I don't even know if this really happened. I don't recall exactly. But to try to make me imagine children, that was proof that's a pattern that will do this to children. Is so disgusting. And the more I think about it, it's like, oh, I think that did happen in the bathroom. They're like, oh, the thing is, what they did is they kind of blocked out a little bit of that memory. So they're like, oh, you thought this didn't happen. This is like a specific detail that it happened that just in the overall story, it doesn't mean much. Because like I did whatever I need to do to get laid, right? And they're like, did you do that specific thing? And so they were trying to use that, and by they use the words, I think this is falsified. I'm not sure. And they're like, oh, you falsified, and it wasn't falsified. So try to negate everything I said about being falsified memory. Trick you like that. But these clowns, they also, as I'm making this video about like the different version of memory, I'm like, which version is falsified then? Which one is not falsified? Which memory is not falsified? Which portion? Which scenario? Which version? Because I say falsify when you try to make me think that she thought of me as a high schooler, and then talk about this black ghetto girl. She thought I was a high schooler. That's what they started trying to make me think, that she thought I was a high schooler. And she said girlfriend because she thought I'm a high school. She's, I don't know, I guess she's a high school. It was something, or she wanted to show that she was a high school, something like that. They were trying to make me imagine that version that she thought. And I was like, this is not one of the falsified versions. Like, I guess this is not falsified version. Like, they play this retardation to the point of creating different alteration of memories within an hour. And me recording all of this alteration, I'm speaking about it. I'm like, I'm experiencing, oh my gosh, now they want me to think this way. Oh my God, I'm making this video, and I was quick about it. Because I know that they create like this transitional ways of like recreating memories. This is crazy. And these clowns around because they want me to get lost in that and forget that this trash, as they destroying me this way, they want to counter the fact that I know how horrible they are to women and children. Just children suffering, this woman suffering, and they still want to play these protectors of children and make me imagine me being with, and act like they're the one disgusting trash. And there was the lady, oh my gosh. Listen, I've been making videos. You've seen this teenage trash living around me. Those are perps. Those are the governmental perps. They're the loser the government utilized. They exploit these retards. And this trash love to be involved in this. They have no concept of reality, and they don't understand how life can be dangerous for them if they keep playing this game. I don't want to have anything on my hand regarding their blood. I don't. But they don't know at what point we're getting to this point. They think they can agitate people and push people into that state of insanity, and nothing is going to happen. They have no concept of reality. They live in a reality where they believe that we, target individual, I should be submissive to all this retardation, as much as we're aware it's being manipulation. For years, they've been telling me they're going to frame me. The same people who want me to accept these false memories, by the way. Who can even make you have multiple versions of memories and be like, oh, we proved that. These clowns were acting all agitating, trying to gaslight me, destroying me. And I'm like, listen, I'm warning you. I'm doing my part. I truly don't want to do what you're going to force me to do if you continue to do that. But I promise you, there is no way that will submit to this retardation, that will internalize this stupidity of memories, that you even capable of making multiple versions of memories and still want me to internalize these false memories. That you can do all of that, and then because you behave a certain way, after you just try to implant all 4 or 5 versions of memories, you want me to still think that I'm not being manipulated because you're acting this way. And then to make me subscribe to that, they're like, oh, but you follow O'Shane on Snapchat. So that's not. It's like, listen, I've given all the warnings. Target individual, I'm not here endorsing violence. But this expectation that target individual should be so submissive, that this level of entitlement that you can create memories in all different versions, create like remixes of false memories. And because some clowns are making noise campaign, you should be subscribing to this. It is insane to think that nothing's gonna happen. First of all, I will now internalize these memories as remix as it is. But I know what you try to do truly is to distract me and disorient me from the proof that you are here torturing little girls, kids of all ages. Everybody knows that I know what you guys do. And you know, the reason why I don't have any fear is because, listen, whoever's been watching my sufferings, one thing they made it clear. I've made so many videos about memory manipulation. I think we're close to 100 or plus, just specific to memories. So much of it, random memory manipulation. Some so silly, some crazy, some disgusting, some, I mean, all kind. Some disturbing. My friend's child, this child, the all kind of nastiness. It's been non-stop since October 2020. It's gonna be 6 years in October. About mimicking memory manipulation. This is just another memory manipulation, and it's the same thing. Oh, you're this person. Oh,